Hello all, welcome to the lecture on the sequence data type. So in this lecture we are going to deal with sequence data type. So before getting into that, let's just get started with what sequence data type are. So basically sequence data type allows you to create or store multiple values in an organized and efficient fashion. So there are several sequence, for example strings, Unicode strings, lists, tuples, arrays and range objects. The two of the other data types that are called as dictionaries and sets are containers for non-sequential data. In this lecture, we are going to look at the examples for all of the sequential and non-sequential data type. So first, let's look at what string data type is. A string is a sequence of one or more characters. For example, it can contain letters, numbers or symbols, and that can be either a constant or a variable. And strings are basically immutable sequences in Python. So to create a string, we can enclose a sequence of characters inside single, double or triple quotes. Let's see an example on creating string. So to create a string, enclose a sequence of characters inside single, double or triple quotes. So I am creating a string called str sample, and it has a sequence of characters which describes the word learning, and I am storing that onto a variable called str sample, so that becomes a string. So we can print out strings by simply calling the print function. So when we print the string str sample, you will be getting an output called learning. So str sample is now a string. So let's move to the next sequence data, that is called list. So list in Python can be created by just placing the sequence inside the square brackets. So here I am creating a list called list numbers, and it is going to contain only the numbers. And if you look at this example, in this list I have elements which is repeating. Basically I am having duplicate values. Because a list may contain duplicate values with their distinct positions, and hence multiple distinct or duplicate values can be passed as a sequence at the time of the list creation itself. So here LST numbers is a list sample which has only numbers, and it also has duplicate values to it. So let's print the list and see what is the output. So you will be able to see the output here. It has values 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4 and 5. But a single list may contain data types like integers, strings as well as objects. So lists can contain elements of multiple data types, and lists are also mutable, and hence they can be altered even after their creation. So now I am creating another list called list sample, LST sample, which has both numbers and strings to it. For example, I have 1, 2, A, Sam and as well as 2 here. So LST sample has multiple data types to it. Let's print that and see. So the one advantage of using list is basically you can have elements of multiple data types. So next we'll look at another sequence data called array. An array is nothing but it is a collection of items stored at contiguous memory locations, and we can use the array to store multiple items of the same data types together. And arrays in Python can be created by importing the array module. So let's import the array module. So from array I am just importing it as asterisk so that I can use just a function from array without even calling them. And the syntax or the way we can use the array function is we need to specify the data type and the value list as arguments to the function array. So let's see how to create array using the array function. So as a first argument I have specified the data type, and as a second argument I have given the values as a list, and I am storing that output as an object called array sample. So now let's print the values of array and see. So here I am using a for loop to print the values of the array sample. So if you just use print of your array name, if you use the print function, it will just going to give you the same input that you've given. But if you want to print the values of your array, then you can use the for loop to get the values of your array. So basically in the first iteration it is going to print the first value, and the for loop goes to the next iteration, so it is going to print all the values in your array sample. So now we've got the values. So the values are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how we create an array. And if you can see here, the array that we've created now is just one dimensional array. We will see how to create or how to deal with multi-dimensional array in the upcoming sessions. So here I have specified the data type as integer. To represent integer I have given I. Similarly, if you want to create an array with different data types, then you can use the notation to denote different types of data. So here the data types mentioned below can be used in creating an array of different data types. So I have given the code here to represent the Python type, and I have also given the minimum number of bytes. So for example, if you want to create an array with the data type float, then you can use the code F. So next we'll move on to tuple. So that is also one of the sequence data type. A tuple in Python is similar to a list, but the difference between the two is that we cannot change the elements of a tuple once it is assigned, whereas in a list elements can be changed. In Python, a tuple is created by placing all the elements inside parentheses separated by commas. I am just separating all the values or elements by commas, and a tuple can have any number of items and they can be of different data types. And here I have integer as well as string to the tuple that I am creating now, and the tuple can also be created without using the parenthesis as well, and that is known as tuple packing. So here I have an example to show you. So here I have not used the parenthesis to create the tuple, but I have just given the value separated by commas. So if you print the values of your tuple, this is how it will be. So we call this as tuple packing. So the next one is dictionary, creation of dictionary. So this is how we create a dictionary. Before looking at how to create a dictionary, let me just tell you what dictionary is. So dictionary in Python is an unordered collection of data values which is used to store data values like a map. Unlike other data types that hold only single value as an element, dictionary holds key value pair. So key value is provided in the dictionary to make it more optimized. So in Python, a dictionary can be created by placing sequence of elements within the curly braces like this, and you can separate your key value pairs by a comma, and dictionary holds a pair of values. For example, this is a pair of values, one being the key and the other corresponding pair element being its key value. So here one is the key and the key value here is first. And the values in a dictionary can be of any data type and can be duplicated as well, but you can have only unique keys, but you can have duplicated values. So this is how we create a dictionary. So dict sample is a dictionary now. Dictionary can also be created by the built-in function using dict. An empty dictionary can be created by just placing elements inside the curly braces, but you can also use the dict function to create a dictionary. So here I am creating the same set of dictionaries using the dict built-in function. So I have just given the key values as a tuple. So each of the sets will be chosen as key value pairs. So if you print the dictionary, you will be getting the keys as well as the values. Set sequence type. So basically sets may consist of various elements. The order of elements in a set is undefined. Any immutable data type can be an element of a set. So here I am using string, integer as elements of the set. For example, a number, a string, a tuple. Here I am using string and numbers. So here I have an example as set sample. So one thing to note here is list cannot be an element of a set. As we have given for dictionary, I have passed the elements as a list for creating a dictionary, but that cannot be done to create a set, because list cannot be an element of a set, and another set cannot be an element of a set as well. So you can't create a set using a set itself. You can't have set as an element. So you can define a set as simple as by naming all its elements in brackets. So you can use the same curly brackets to create a set, or you can also use the function that is called as set, that is inbuilt. So you can use set function to create sets as well. So the only exception is empty set, which can be created using the function set. So if you are using the set function, you should use list, string or tuple as a parameter. So it will return a set consist of its elements. For example, I am creating a set here. So if you print it, it will return a set consist of its elements actually. So that is how you create a set using the set function. So the next thing that we can see here is range, which is also a sequence data type in Python, and range is a built-in function of Python. So you can use that whenever you want to perform any action for a specific number of times, and it's commonly used in for looping. Hence, knowledge of same is key aspect when you want to deal with any kind of Python coding. So basically the range function takes in 3 arguments. The first argument is the start value, basically the integer starting from which the sequence of integers to be returned, and the next value is the stop value. So if you give 12, then you will be getting a value 1 before that, that is n minus 1. So you will be getting a value before 12, that is 11. The last argument is the stop value. You can give an integer before which the sequence of integers is to be returned. So let's see, I am giving 1, 12, 4. So I am going to create a sequence of value ranging from 1 to 12. Since I have given the step size as 4, you will be getting the output as 1, 5 and 9. So that is how the range will be, that is how the range function works. So here also I am using the for loop to print the values of the range. If you just print, if you just use the print function to get the values, you will just get the input of your function. So in this lecture, what are sequence data type? And then we have also seen some of the sequence data type that can be used as containers to store the data. Some of it are strings, tuples, list, arrays, dictionaries, sets and range. And we have also seen how to create or how to initialize the object for all of the sequence data type. In the upcoming lectures, we will be seeing how to perform some operations on each of the sequence data type. Thank you.